My preferred method for filling gouges and unwanted holes in wood is to use body filler, commonly called Bondo. I use this method primarily for surfaces that are to be painted. However, you may use it for a base under a natural wood filler. It has excellent bonding qualities, plus, unlike most wood fillers, doesn't dry out in the can or the tube. In this case, I have 2 screw holes that needed to be filled. First, wipe down the surface with a solvent cleaner and then bevel the edges around the holes. You could use a chisel or any number of other tools to accomplish this. I personally like the quickness of using a cordless Dremel for small things like this. Although the Bondo quart cans come with a plastic mixing dish for the lid, I never use it. Body filler is best mixed on a flat surface. One of the worst things you can use is cardboard or anything that can leach the solvents and resin out of the filler. Instead, buy a plastic mixing board from an auto body supply jobber, or do as I do and use a piece of glass. Any flat, non-absorbent surface will do. Plastic putty knives are the tool of choice. When purchasing these, buy the best grade. I've found that the cheap ones such as these have a ragged edge and don't allow for smooth spreading. My favorite, however, is a flexible steel knife. The more flexible, the easier it is to smooth the filler out. This can has been on my shelf for quite a while and has separated out. It needs a thorough stirring. Note that I make sure that every bit of material is moved into the can so that it will have its original consistency. Move the portion you think you will need onto the glass. Now pick up your hardener tube and knead it. A lot. It's got to be properly mixed. It is supposed to come out the end of the tube as a paste. If it's runny, it isn't kneaded well enough, or it's not mixed well enough. The amount of hardener you use is critical, especially if you add too much. It is always better to under-catalyze than it is to over-catalyze. Too much hardener will cause your plastic to gas, have poor adhesion, and maybe bleed up through your final finish. Note that as I mix, I'm pushing down on the knife. It is important to work any air bubbles out of your mixture. They can cause problems later on your final finish, producing both pinholes and maybe blisters. Apply your filler, working it well down into the repair. Spread it as smoothly as you can to just above the surface. Depending on the amount of hardener you use, you will have about 3 or so minutes before it starts to set. Here I'm filling some gouges on the edges of a set of doors. So that you may reuse your glass, be sure to scrape any unused plastic off immediately. Also, if you're using a steel knife, clean it immediately, or you'll probably be buying a new one. So let's work the plastic. The first tool I'm going to use is a curved rasp file. The curved one is stiff enough that you won't need a holder, so don't go and buy a flat one. I have never liked flat ones, and believe me, when I was doing bodywork, I filed lots of plastic. Before using it, wait until the plastic becomes semi-hard. If you let it cure too long, the rasp probably won't touch it, and you'll be sanding it all off. File the plastic down so that it is level with the surface and about 1/16 of an inch above the surface. Taking too much off may require another skim coat, and believe me, I have had to skim coat many times. Follow up with an orbital sander. Two other tools I frequently use as a final step before priming are just a push block with adhesive paper. These do make great sanding blocks. Plus, I have a standard flexible board sander. Hey, you, make it a great day, and thanks for watching.
Check out our tools I use Amazon online store at www.budmanproductions.com. That's www.budmanproductions.com.